This week we have been talking about the changing states of matter. The states of matter, again, are solid, liquid, and a gas. I do want to correct a misconception. A solid, liquid, and gas can be a property of a particular state of matter. So a book, if we're talking about a book, the property of matter could be a solid, it could be red, it could be hard, it could have a rough texture. So that's when the states of matter become properties. But when we're talking about properties of the states of matter, I'm looking for things like temperature, mass, things like that, the specific properties of matter that we talked about last week. So in this example in our journal right now, we have solids, liquids, and gases, and we're talking about how the temperature changes those states of matter. The temperature is a property of matter. If we go from left to right and we add heat to a solid, it will melt into a liquid. If we add heat to a liquid, it will transfer to a gas. The process of going from a solid to a liquid is called melting, and the process of going from a liquid to a gas is called evaporating. On the other hand, if we take away heat from something, so we apply a cold temperature or we leave something in Antarctica where it's frozen, we are going to go from a gas to a liquid. That process is called condensation, and then eventually that liquid is going to turn into a solid by freezing. So an ice cube, for example, would go, could boil it, it would go to a gas.
He started with a snowman, right? In the morning, his head was all the way there, right? But since then, he has what? Melted. In your journals, underneath the solid flat, can you draw a picture of how he started?
I'm guessing you don't have much experience with heat.
So now, what does he turn into? He's turning into a liquid, right? There is liquid in here. Okay? See, look. There's water, if you look. Okay? Alright. So what's getting applied, even as I'm touching this, as I'm touching this, what am I applying to the snowman?
Heat.
I'm applying heat, right? Because my body is naturally warm, right? So I'm applying heat. And if I go like this, I'm making heat how? Friction. Good. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to observe 3 states of matter, okay, which can be properties, but we're labeling them as states right now. So if I had an object, I could say a property of that object would be solid, but right now I'm talking about a state, as if this were a state of matter. What's a property of this state of matter that I'm holding right now? It's what?
A solid.
It is solid, okay. Alright. What else is it? What do you think ice is? Ice is really...
Frozen.
It's hard and it's frozen water, which makes it really...
Liquid.
Is it hot or cold?
Cold.
It's cold. Okay, so I know that I have 2 properties. Now we're going to watch it turn into a gas. As you are watching, you're going to flip to the next clean page and you're going to write observations about what you see. I already turned this on. It's very hot. I can feel the heat, okay? I can feel it. So what should I wear if this is really hot? Oh, right? I have an oven mitt here. I'm going to wear this, okay? So I am going to put this, I'm going to make sure the bottom's dry. It's our snowman melted outside. So I'm going to just make sure this is dry. And then I'm going to put it on this burner, okay? I turn the burner on to medium, but I'm going to turn it a little higher. Okay? I'm going to turn it on high. Okay? High is going to give it what? A lot of heat, right? Okay? And it's going to start what?
I can already see it
Melting.
melting.
Do you think it's going to take a little bit of time or a lot of time? A little bit of time? Okay. Let's see. Look at the clock. What time is it now?
It's 12:17.
It's 12:17. Okay, Corey's going to be our timer. It's 12:17 now. So we're going to time how long it takes. Look, it's standing up now. Why do you think the snowman's standing up and before it was laying down? Remember, it started standing up, then it fell down, and now it's standing back up again. Why?
Because it's, like the bottom is gonna be melting and it's like getting flat.
Right, because the heat is being applied to the bottom, right? And what do you think's bringing it down to the heat? What do you think's holding it to the heat?
Temperature.
What keeps you on the ground?
Gravity.
Gravity. Good.
It's like it's been 3 minutes.
It's been 3 minutes. Whoop! So he got. What did he get? Now that he can fit in there, just lift it up. Just
He
pull it
melted
off.
too much. He melted too much.
Is it getting ready?
Oh my gosh! What do you think's gonna happen now? Now that he's laying down and he's touching, more of him is touching the bottom.
It's faster.
It's gonna melt. It's gonna melt more. You think it's red?
It's not.
Okay, so if I put it on this side, what do you think's gonna happen?
Oh,
This
it's
side?
getting flat.
3 pieces.
It got melted.
It got less thick in the middle of where they were holding together, and it all melted, and then they just separated.
Right. Why do you think it's separated into 3 pieces? How did it know? How did it separate by its head, body, and legs? Sort of. How do you know that? What was it, smaller or bigger where it connected? It was smaller, so it took less time to what? Melt. Very good. What does it sound like?
Steam.
It sounds like steam?
I can see
Oh, you can start to see it. Okay, now look. Watch.
It's going to get foggy, the bucket.
Oh my gosh. Why is the bucket getting foggy?
Because of the steam. And the heat. The temperature of the
Go ahead and touch that. Okay, stop. How does it feel?
And feel wet.
It feels wet. So look at the different marks that you made in it. No, guys. Remember, back up. Safety. Okay. So I could collect this all, right? And if I could collect it all in here, it would become what again?
Liquid.
It's becoming a liquid, and that process is called what? When the water turns back. But it is what? Condensation. So it's condensating, right? Very good. Okay. So this process is when the water collects and it forms droplets, it is condensation.
I'm guessing you don't have much experience with heat.
Nope. But sometimes I like to close my eyes and imagine what it'd be like when summer does come. Bees will buzz, kids will blow dandelion fuzz, and I'll be doing whatever snow does in summer.
I'm gonna tell him.
Don't you dare.